broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We got to keep the money theme going on here. Oh, get it. I'm going to let you get it. You good?
Yeah,
you want to keep going?
I'm good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Rich Kids After Show. As you can tell, we're already having such a fun time. Another good episode filled with drama, even more drama this week. But welcome, and if you guys are not subscribed to AfterBuzz on YouTube yet, please subscribe. That way you can watch this after show every week and all of the other amazing after shows. And also make sure you're heading over to podcast1.com. You can help us know what we can do to make these shows better. It's a 3-minute survey, super quick. That's podcast1.com. So, Christina, another amazing episode, right?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm tweeting at Johnny right now. Hopefully.
We're missing our best
I know.
friend.
I'm hoping he'll tweet us back.
Well, big news. We've got some guests coming next week. More than, just Johnny, our regular. So we're super excited. We're hoping Morgan, Brendan, and Taylor show up. So definitely tune in with us.
Yes, we have a semi-confirmation, but
Right.
They all seemed pretty interested in coming. So it should be really fun with 4 guests.
For sure.
I think it might get a little crazy.
Well, we have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So first of all, where can they find you on Twitter?
You guys can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Tina Cap.
Okay, and you can find me at Haley Clover. And tweet us throughout the show. Tweet us whenever. We want to hear your questions. We want to know what you want to hear on the show. But we definitely want to talk about Bobby first. Because Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
I think we both agree on Bobby being a bit of a sketchball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was your reaction to him? Because this was the first week we really saw him actually, his personality and talk a little bit, because the last time we saw him was in the Bahamas, and he was kind of just the tag-along.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I agree with kind of like Dorothy and EJ, how it's just, okay, why did he need to bring up that whole thing with Roxy? Like, just like I think it was EJ that said it, or Morgan that said you weren't defending her by airing her dirty laundry.
Right.
And they're right. I mean, I think he just was trying to stir the pot and then got offended when everyone kind of, stood up for Roxy and kind of put him in his place.
Right. Now, with him, too, Taylor did tell him, so obviously he's talking about Roxy and Taylor's high school relationship and, all of that bullying or whatever that went on. But he's not close with them, so for him to start bashing one of their friends, and he probably thinks in his mind, like, oh, yeah, like, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that was a shitty thing for her to do. But they're all like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, she's our good friend. Stop talking about her.
Right. And, Taylor is brand new to the group as well. So not that they wouldn't have her back. I'm sure they would. But obviously their allegiance is going to be with Roxy, even despite the issues that Morgan and Roxy just had. They don't want to hear somebody, especially someone that doesn't even know her, talking badly about her. And I'm sure Taylor felt horrible because she didn't want everyone, she even said she didn't want everyone knowing that.
I did feel really bad for her because, like Johnny keeps telling us when he's here, she's a very nice girl, like just sees the best in everyone. And you can kind of tell this episode she did, she wasn't going to ever talk about Roxy in that situation. She got that question, never have I ever. Coincidentally or not, but she wasn't going to say anything, and so I felt bad that she was probably very embarrassed by him too. And it's one of those things where it's probably the crappiest situation to have a group of friends that doesn't like your boyfriend.
Yeah,
like,
it's the worst.
And you have to eventually kind of notice that and be like, there's got to be something that's like a little off for all of my friends to dislike him.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, the relationship is going to suffer regardless because either A, you never hang out with him and your friends, so that's probably going to mean that you spend less time with your friends, or B, you bring him around anyways and then everyone feels uncomfortable.
Right.
So it's like, it's just not a good situation for them, but I don't know,
How funny was it when EJ and Dorothy, which those two were like the stars of the show tonight.
Yeah.
They had some really good lines, but they were like, yeah, he's just kind of baggage. Like, he just tags along everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, super annoying. They were not holding back on their opinions of him.
Well, it's kind of true because at least at that game night, you know, Brendan was the one that originally introduced Bobby to everyone, so he wasn't even there. So it was really kind of awkward because Taylor's new, Bobby's new, you know, they didn't have kind of like that connection with somebody there.
That's very true.
So I think maybe that had something to do with their feelings. Like maybe if Brendan was there, he would have kind of tried to include Bobby and like make it a little less, you know, divided.
Right. Well, and I'll be interested to ask Brendan about that if he does come next week, because I wanted to know what he saw in him and if that opinion has changed at all, because, you know, everyone was giving him a chance, like you said, because it was Brendan's friend. So who knows?
Yeah, because
weird.
I mean, we might just be seeing, you know, bad,
true,
you know, bad images of him. He may be a nicer guy. Hopefully, he's a nicer guy than what we see. He just seems like a guy that never gets told no. Right. So he looked like he was gonna cry, and when he was you know by the fireplace, he's like, I'm just gonna finish my drink, get my jacket, and leave.
Right.
And then he like looked down. I'm like, oh my gosh, like really grow up.
Right. That's so true. Well, and he owns a club, and knowing guys out here in LA, like, you own a club, you think you're like the hottest thing to ever.
Yeah.
These people, I mean,
That's
these
what
kids
I mean
have
by
so
he probably
much money.
never
It's
gets told no.
Right.
So.
Right. And these, I mean, the level of like places that these kids have been to, I mean, it's insane. They've traveled everywhere and done everything, and they're in their 20s. It's like you can't compete.
Right. And side note, I took some of Dorothy's advice. No, I didn't. I'm really good at social media stalking as well. And so I found Ramona whatever.
From
the
Housewives?
Bobby's
his
baby mama. I forget what her full, it's like Ramona something.
Yeah.
And she's actually kind of pretty. I was like, wow. Like I think Taylor's really pretty too. So I'm shocked that he was able to pull both of these girls because he just kind of seems like a little bit of a sleazeball. And that's why, especially too, if we get Taylor here next week, I want to get her obviously feelings on him because we know she cares about him. We know she likes him. But what does she see in him that we're not seeing on the show? There has to be something more that, you know, a different side of him that she sees.
Something other than his comb over.
Yes, exactly. And so, but I was like, their baby is pretty cute, and he's getting older. I forget what the baby's name is, but she's pretty. And like, but she looks exactly like the girl that he probably picked up at the club. She's very thin, like, you know, kind of LA model-y looking, but not a model. And maybe he's had work done. I don't know.
Pictures on Instagram.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
well, gosh, who knows? And they may not be talking about that or him talking about that for legal reasons. She might say, I don't want my child involved in this at all.
Well, they met. Dorothy talked about. Him.
She did a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So I think maybe that you could be right why they didn't kind of expand on it.
And for now, we don't even need to know more about him. I have a feeling he's not sticking around too long. Yeah,
I mean, maybe this season he'll be here, but I don't know. I just don't see, he doesn't really fit in with the cast well. Like, even if he is supposed to be a villain, or, you know, not, you know what I mean? Like, there's always, like, the villainous kind of person, and even if that's what his, like, character is supposed to be, after this plays out, what else is there for him? You know, I don't know. I just don't really see...
Karaoke.
Yeah, I just don't...
The Blind Dragon.
Right, like, I just don't see... I agree with you. I don't see him being on for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, because we do see clips in the future of him possibly using David Hasselhoff, or trying to, you know...
Right, and they met for the first time.
And it actually went well. Better than I thought. David Hasselhoff, by the way, seems very nice.
Yeah.
Like, I always watched him. Was he on America's Got Talent first? That was, yes. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
He, to me, always seemed so corny, and I was like, oh, God, I can't connect with this guy at all. But tonight on the show, he seemed more like not so game showy, and he seemed very nice and relaxed and like a normal dad, which was cool to see.
Yeah, it's fun to see these people that, I mean, you sometimes forget that they have families, and he's such a huge, you know, polarizing star, and he's had his, you know, moments and his issues in the past. So it was kind of cute to see him at lunch with her and like, don't get any more tattoos and piercings. You're so beautiful. Like, it's sweet. Like, that's something my dad would totally say to me. You know? So that was cool. And yeah, I thought that Bobby handled the situation, or handled the introduction well. And I think that David was really interested in his club, which is always good. If your dad is interested in something that your boyfriend is doing, that's a huge plus.
Great. So true.
So next week, I think we'll see maybe a little bit more at the launch party for Belfast
magazine. I know. Well, I'm excited for that. But before we move on to EJ and Dorothy, which I'm excited to talk about, I have to put in my favorite line of the dinner party that they had when they were playing Never Have I Ever. Never have I ever held a Coach bag. Yeah. It was like the funniest thing to me ever. Because
and all of them were like, don't drink. Oh my God.
Right. They were like, if somebody drank, they would have been like, get out. And then all of us watching, like everyone else watching, you guys watching, were probably like, I had a Coach bag.
Yeah.
Or like, I thought Coach was cool.
Right.
Coach is like the least designer of all the designers possible to them.
And I told Haley before we went on, I didn't have a Coach purse, but I did have a Dooney Burke. And I thought it was like so cool. It was the white one with like all the colored hearts on it.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And they had the rainbow zipper.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey. I legit thought I was so hot.
Jesse, our producer, is like dying right now. Did you have a Dooney and Burke, Jesse?
I'm dying because I knew every one of my friends had one of those bags.
Right?
I mean, that was like the cheap Louis Vuitton looking bag.
Yes.
It was the same shape.
Like, it was kind of a designer when you can't afford the real designer.
Right. I will say, if a purse is cute, I don't give a crap what it is. I don't care. But I also don't have billions of dollars in a trust fund.
Right. I don't have Dorothy's 30 Hermes bags or 30 Birkin bags or whatever she has. Like,
what amazes me actually is I never knew that about Coach. I come from the Greeks, so they're very cheap. So my mom had a Coach bag, and she treated it like it was
Louis.
Well, and Coach always had that design on it, so everyone knew it was Coach. It had the C's and whatever. But now they've totally taken that off the bags because people don't want to carry Coach bags. At least that's my take on it. Now they have like a regular flat leather looking, kind of like a copy of the like Prada bag almost.
Okay. But see, I think though, and
rock what you got.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be racist at all, but I think a lot of Asians still really dig the Coach.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be a touristy thing too.
Yeah, tourists.
Because when they come over, they still love Abercrombie and Fitch, and that I can't get through my brain either.
Yeah, that is true.
Who will know? I mean,
I used to work at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, Christina.
It was like the worst couple of months of my life. Like, I left with a headache every single day.
Oh my God, the perfume, the cologne,
this is
and
what
the
they
music.
told you. They go, okay, go around to every mannequin and spray 10 times every 30 minutes.
Really?
There's a ton of mannequins in that store. I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
Isn't it called Fire? Or Fierce.
Fierce, yes, Fierce. I was like,
that I wouldn't.
Wait, I went to somebody's party the other day.
Oh God.
Side note.
Oh God.
I walked in, and this was actually in Beverly Hills, and I walked in, and it smelled like Fierce, and I was like, people are still rocking that, like, because isn't the thing of perfume and cologne, you want to smell like something that no one else smells like.
You want to be different.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, to me, that's like TJ Maxx. Like, you walk in, you smell
I love
like,
TJ Maxx.
which I do too. I'm not hating on TJ
So Marshalls,
Watch
it's like
it.
Marshalls.
But I love
Love
Marshalls.
Marshalls.
Oh, see, I don't like Marshalls.
Marshalls is better for shoes. TJ Maxx is better for clothes. And Home Goods is like...
Yeah, Home Goods at TJ Maxx. Oh my God.
Okay.
I just need an Abercrombie to step it up with a new cologne.
No, they just need to close. It's like, oh God. That's been enough. I'm going to ask the rich kids next week if any of them ever wore Abercrombie and
I think
Fitch.
they'll get offended if you ask them that.
No, I'd like to know. Johnny worked at Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah.
No,
I was
for
surprised.
Rich people, Abercrombie is like Old Navy. to them.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
when I was
Aeropostale.
younger.
Yeah.
Abercrombie's like Aeropostale.
But I still shop at Old Navy.
Girl, I do too. Yeah.
Like, they have the best basics, and it's always like, they always have a sale.
Okay, enough about us.
I know. We're way off topic, but
Man,
that's
I hope
what
you're
always
still
happens.
watching. Because now we are talking about EJ and Dorothy.
Yes.
Speed dating. Would you ever go speed dating?
Heck yeah. I actually kind of want to look up that, what was it, Speed LA Speed Dating or Speed LA Dating or something like that, whatever they did.
We should go.
Yeah.
I have a boyfriend, but this is all research.
I don't, so
This is research,
let's go.
Rob. Let's go and just screw with people.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. But let's
Unless
ask them to
there's-
come back with us.
But unless there's like
Let's
a
take
really
Johnny.
hot guy, I mean.
Well, you don't have to. I mean, you can screw them. You don't have to screw with them.
Very true.
Okay. Well, they want speed dating.
And there weren't any hot guys on there.
They got
so.
all of the ugliest guys possible. And I wonder whether they do that for the show.
They had to.
Because
mean-
we only saw 3 of them too. It's kind of weird if you go and speed date 3 people. Like that's a little odd. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing they like left some stuff out. But Dorothy got all foreign guys, 2 from Germany, 1 from London.
Yeah.
And they were all like there was such a language barrier with all of them. The one German guy didn't even understand what she was saying.
Yeah.
So it was funny, but EJ, he's like my favorite. He's just, I don't know what it is, but he just has all of these like sayings that you would never think. Like, he's like, boy, if you were talking about the weather, like, get out. And then he says something like curtain. Like, I don't even know what that means,
And
but it
he's
just
like-
seems so funny.
And he's like, I'm not trying to date a Doppler 7000. Like,
Where like, you're not Al Roker.
okay.
They're just so funny. But what was most surprising to both of us, and I would like to know what all of you guys think, so comment on YouTube. Casey, out of nowhere.
Not Casey spelled with a C, like K,
No,
the
K.
letter K and the letter C.
Dorothy invites this Casey fellow to speed dating because she doesn't want, you know, in case all of these guys are bad, which they were, she wants Casey to be there so she can actually have a conversation. But she kind of likes this guy. They met him at the bar, and our reaction was like, what? They don't match at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesse, are you from LA?
No, Boston.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Boston.
Anyone from LA, and I hope I'm not offending anyone if you are from Riverside. This guy looks like he was from Riverside, like a 909, like
I don't even know
stars
where that is.
and
I'm too
like
new.
I'm gonna wear stars and straps and my snapback hat and my big diamond earrings. Like, I'm sorry, 909ers.
But this is what I picked up from their conversation. He was wearing Saint
Laurent
Laurent
pants, yeah, and I'm
so he's
like-
obviously not poor.
Why
They
do
didn't
you
like
dress
his three-quarter
that?
length
Yeah, but
sleeve,
like,
though.
why do you dress like that?
I don't know. So anyway, it was just kind of weird because they don't match. Like, he definitely seemed a little, like, I don't know, too messy for her. I picture her with, like,
Yeah.
someone who's very well versed in, like, 7 languages and
Well, no, it doesn't. He
wine
doesn't
and-
even have to be like that, like cultured, if you want to call him. I just picture her with like a guy that's gonna dress like more like Brendan does when they go
Right.
out. You know, like
Maybe she likes dirty
like-
guys, though.
Yeah, maybe. Cause remember the dude she dated last season?
Yeah.
What was his name?
I couldn't tell you. I forget.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty cool.
And she got so upset when they broke up, but
Yeah.
he was like kind of like not really seeming of her type too. But I mean, obviously we don't even know what her type
Right.
is.
We'll have to
but
ask her when she comes in because we're
Yeah.
hoping she comes in as well.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, but those two are really funny. They are just all about, excuse my language, getting the dick.
Yeah.
That's what they said all episode. They just want some dick. And EJ, I cannot believe how honest he is. What I think about this whole time is like their parents watch this show,
Yeah.
especially David Hasselhoff. He's on it. Taylor's talking about having anal sex. EJ's talking about how it's got to be at least 7 inches to start.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And in my head, I'm like, that has got to hurt.
Yeah.
Like real bad.
I mean,
Like real bad.
I'm just not even going to go there.
Jesse comments.
Well,
7 inches is gonna hurt. I'm a whore. Sorry.
he's like,
Best
honey,
producer
7
ever.
inches is nothing.
I mean,
Whatever.
TMI.
Isn't-
They're gay. It's not like it's. I mean, that's gotta hurt.
God, I really wish Johnny was here right now. Johnny,
Me
if you're
too.
listening, he's not. He's at Pride. He's having so much fun.
Speaking of 7 inches.
Yeah, hopefully, Johnny, you're finding like 10 inches tonight.
Oh, I can't wait till he watches this.
Yes.
Yeah. So
no,
they're just
but
crazy.
the best
So open.
comment about Casey was they were like, yeah, we thought he looked really cool because he was racially ambiguous and had a snapback hat.
Right? racially ambiguous. Yeah, like, well,
That is so
that's kind of
funny.
true, though. Because he wasn't, yeah, no, that's true.
But, like, that's the reason
looked a
why they
little
started
Latina,
to talk to him.
a little
You know, like,
Italian. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right, like,
so
that's why they
funny.
choose people.
yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
But, yeah, I would totally be down to speed date if you want to go.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some fun things with these rich kids. Hopefully outside of the show and tape it and then bring it back to the show. That
Yeah,
would be
Johnny
fun.
would for sure go with us. But I feel like the type of people that are going to speed date, like, we are doing it because we think it's going to be funny. But, like,
People are actually
they're
doing
going
it
to
to
be
do it.
weird. Like, who speed dates, like, thinking they're going to find a boyfriend? You know?
Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be other guys doing the same thing, like making fun of it, and then they're super cool, and then you're
Maybe.
like, then you find a boyfriend.
Maybe. Who knows?
We'll see. Jesse, you want to come?
No, that's speed dating scares me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even take Ubers.
Really? Uber's like the best
I'm,
thing to
weird
happen
about
to.
I get
strangers,
scared Uber by myself. It's kind of scary.
You know, so I don't know about
hear ya.
like sitting across from someone.
Maybe we need to start a speed dating Uber. That could be like $1 billion idea.
Quick little car ride.
Except for I just told the nation.
Yeah,
So-
you did, because the
Next
nation is
subject.
watching.
I'm putting a patent on it tonight.
No, okay, side Uber note. Oh gosh, this is so horrible. So the last, like,
We're awful this
maybe
episode. I'm really
2
sorry.
or
by the way.
3 months. No, the last 2 months. I've literally gotten into 4 different Ubers where the guy had the worst BO I've ever smelled in my entire life.
Gotta take that Uber black car, girl.
the first time it happened, I was like, oh my God, we need to roll down the windows. And I look around and they're all like cracked. And I'm like, okay, this is just bad. And it's happened with my girlfriend Olivia. Like, literally every time we go somewhere together, we get in a car and it smells horrible. And she's like,
You just have bad luck.
this is no, like, she gets so pissed, and I'm like, I feel too bad to like say something and be like, can you let us out because you stink, you know, like, I'm not gonna say that. And she like literally wants
Do you think the rich kids use Uber? But probably
Yeah,
Uber black.
the black.
car. Because even
Or the
celebrities
SUV.
use Uber.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the trick is to use Uber Pool and just hope that nobody gets in because you still get the low rate and it's usually a bigger car.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, side note. Okay, let's continue. Okay, we are on to Morgan and Roxy, the biggest drama of
Yeah.
the night, and I think going to be possibly the season because we know that they're still not talking. They've have been interviews on E! And a couple different places, and they're still not on good terms, which is sad because, like we both said, and I don't know if you guys realized.
Johnny quoted can't talk.
Your
Quoted
tweet?
our tweet and said, "Have fun, girls."
Aw, he's so fun.
We love you.
We're going to have to get him an AfterBuzz t-shirt.
Yeah.
So anyway, Morgan and Roxy, I didn't realize that they were such good friends. Like, the way they talked about each other, I knew they were good friends, but they were like 10 years of best friendships. They're sisters. They've shared everything together.
Yeah.
They think about the same things. They buy the same things without knowing. I mean, I didn't realize that they were that close.
I didn't either, and I thought it was strange because they've never ever portrayed it like that in the show.
Right.
It was always from the start that Morgan and Dorothy were best friends.
Right, which is actually this season we kind of find out not
it seems
true.
like
They're friends, but they're not like.
Yeah, they've kind of drifted a little bit. Not in a bad way, just they don't do as much together. But yeah, I thought that was kind of weird because I didn't know. Like, it kind of caught me off guard.
Right.
Which,
Yeah, it's
mean,
weird. Well,
but then I also feel like that, oh, she's my sister term gets thrown around very, like,
a lot
loosely
because they talk
there.
about it with Taylor and Roxy
Yeah.
and how she was a mentor and a sister, and that's so true.
Yeah, because, like, I have tons of friends that I've been close with for a long time, but there's only a few that I would consider, like, my sisters.
Right.
You know, like.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, that's just not a term maybe I would even use. Like, I have some best friends, but I'm like, they're my best friends. Like, they'll be
Yeah.
my friends forever. Like, my kids will call them aunt, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd ever call them my sister.
See, I think the only reason why I lived with my best friend and her mom in, like, their house. So, like,
Well, you're
her mom
very
is, like,
close.
I feel like she's, like, my other mom, and, like,
Yeah.
Sarah and Amanda are sisters, and I'm, like, the third sister. And they always joke about that. But, so that's, like, a different scenario. But I don't know. Like I said, I was a little bit caught off guard by
Yeah, how
that
much
whole thing.
Well, so Brendan shows, Roxy asked Brendan to show her boyfriend, Nick. Yeah, Nick to show him a house that he was interested in buying. And Brendan's obviously in real estate, so he was going as a real estate agent to show this house. Showed the house. What we find out is that Nick went behind Brendan's back and went right to the owner of the house to buy the house so that he didn't have to pay Brendan any commission.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Brendan even says it's not illegal what he did, but it's just super, like, immoral and shady and wrong. And Brendan's obviously pissed that he's getting, you know, not getting his commission because, like he said, he could have had 6 other buyers and he would have made the commission. And knowing the houses that they're selling, and I know the company he works for because of the Real Housewives. He works for Kyle Richards' husband.
Yeah.
They're selling some big houses. Yeah, Mauricio. So Morgan, and I agree with Morgan in this situation because she was straight up honest with Roxy saying, did you know anything? Roxy lied to her and said no. And then at lunch said, I mean, I kind of knew, I kind of heard. I mean, your boyfriend's buying a house, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get involved. You know what? And if that was the case, like Morgan said, you should have said that right up front. But now because she lied, Morgan's like screw you.
Yeah, but I'm 100% on Morgan's side for this because I agree with her. If you are that close, like, I know some of my best friends, if I were to ask them about something like that, like, they would just tell me the truth. And the way that Roxy said it, you know, yeah, I knew what was going on, but I didn't want to get involved. That's completely fine. And she can't be faulted for that. But, like, if she would have just came out and said that,
right,
Morgan would have no reason to get mad at her because she, you know, didn't want to be involved, which is probably the right thing to do because it's between their boyfriends, not them.
Right. Well, and I think she's probably very embarrassed that her boyfriend would even do something like that.
Yeah.
Because knowing these kids, like, that's what you do. You buy a house, you pay the real estate agent commission. It's just, it is what it is. So I think she's a little embarrassed that he probably did that to begin with.
It doesn't even matter. Like, just in general in life, that's what you do, right? I mean, I don't really know anyone that's bought a house.
Unless it's for sale by owner. You know, if a real estate agent's not even involved. But yeah, otherwise you're, yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure Brendan probably wouldn't have, like, charged him, like, they're friends, so they probably would have done, like, not the full commission or whatever.
Exactly.
But I guess this guy was trying to save a buck or something. I don't know. Like, I don't get the point of doing that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
If you have enough money, then, I mean, I don't know.
Just still cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the thing that got me, too, is that Roxy kept saying, you know, it's between our boyfriends and, like, now that they're engaged, it's totally different. Like, that's going to be her husband. It's not just her boyfriend anymore. Like, it's your best friend and her husband, her fiance. Like, of course she's going to take his side and, you know, make sure that her fiance is, you know, getting what he's supposed to be getting.
And it's her livelihood now. Like, his money is her money. And, you know, if he gets screwed out of money, then that means they get screwed out of money.
Right.
So, like I said, I totally agree with Morgan, and I would be on her side as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see the rest of that drama because Roxy has said now that she doesn't know if it can be repairable.
But I thought that was
a bit dramatic as well.
Very dramatic because it wasn't like Morgan was being completely honest and putting it straight with her. She wasn't like attacking her and saying like things that were untrue.
Right.
She was just telling her, if you would have just told me the truth and said this,
then
things would have been
Roxy
fine.
wouldn't have just said, you know what, you're right. I'm really sorry, because I feel like if she would have done that, yeah, maybe there still would have been a little tiff, but it would have been like at least she apologized and like realizes what she did was wrong.
Right, but I think she just didn't want to admit that she was wrong. And it's like when you start crying about something like that, it's like, just like with Dorothy, it was kind of like, okay, it's like an admission of guilt, like, because you feel bad for what you did and what's happening. I don't know. But I thought, or by her saying, I told myself when I walked in here that if you did that, we would never speak again.
Do what?
And I
Yell
was
at her? Is that what she was talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she really didn't do that much.
Roxy's supposed to come on too, so I guess we can get her side of the story as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought maybe, see, that's the other thing that we don't know about is like maybe there's something else that went on, or maybe there's something, you know, because maybe what we think is dramatic could be normal.
Well, it could have happened over weeks.
Because there's other things that go into it. Yeah, that's what's hard about a show is like you don't always see everything that, you know, just like Johnny told us or told me. I don't know if you saw in our episode last week that you know, when he was last season, when he was having, you know, all these drama issues and stuff, nobody knew, you know, audience-wise, that he was having all these health issues. His, like, lap band went up and, like, was going up into his chest and was causing him all this pain and discomfort, and he had to have all this surgery and all, you know, so he was going through a lot out, like, behind the camera that nobody sees, and that was kind of like fueling him as far as, like, short, you know, sparks go with drama. So that's another thing, is we don't know if maybe there was something else, like you said, it could have been building up for weeks, like other things involved that caused it to, you know, explode a little bit more. I don't know.
Well, we will have to see. Before we do our predictions, I made a note and I just remembered Dorothy and EJ talking about the word bae.
Yeah.
I don't know why this bugs me so much, but everyone thinks that it means babe, or that it's short for babe.
Yeah.
That is not what it means.
No.
PSA for everyone. It means...
Wait, hold on. Okay. Jesse, do you know what it means?
I do not.
What did you think it meant, babe? Bae?
Like a bae, like you're...
Like a bae?
Yeah, like, you know, your boo.
What is that?
Like, yeah, so like another word for boo.
So it's actually an acronym for before anyone else.
Or before anything else.
Before anything else, yeah. But everyone thinks it just means babe. So PSA for everyone out there. That's not what it means.
And I feel like by knowing that, it makes the saying like a little bit better, because it's
stupid.
Like, yeah, if somebody...
You want to post it everywhere. Everyone be posting hashtag bae, hashtag bae. Well, you have a lot of... You put a lot before anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely got a lot, like... I mean, bae's, I think, a little over, but...
Bae,
So maybe fleek means something different.
I think...
That just means on point, right? Yeah. It's an acronym for, like... Yeah, I can't even do
we'll
it.
figure
I
out
like
for
it.
next week.
I like it. I know people hate it, but I like to...
On fleek?
You know, post Snapchats and tell people how my brows are on fleek, or
I don't
my
think I've ever
eyelashes
had
are
anything
on
on fleek.
or my nails are on fleek. My
Your
nails
look
are
is
not
on fleek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like on fleek, I think is like 100%. I don't know if I'm like on fleek. I don't know if I've reached on fleekness.
So you don't ever look in the mirror sometimes and just be like
damn, I look on fleek.
No, like when I get my eyebrows done and I like after the
you
red
have nice eyebrows.
Well, they're kind of hairy right now, but after the redness goes down, I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, my brows are on fleek. I say it quite often to myself.
I get upset at people who get upset at the word fleek.
Yeah.
Because I'm like...
You don't have to say it, whatever.
You know what I mean? Like the 90s had how many ridiculous terms? It's usually older people who say it. It's like, calm down, let the kids have fleek.
Yeah, and people like have killed YOLO, but I like still like that. I don't use
that's totally done.
I don't use it.
Christina, do not use YOLO anymore.
But you only live once, so sometimes it is a very appropriate saying.
Unless you're a cat.
I feel you.
But I try not to like use it often. Okay.
That's like my favorite. Whenever they made up those memes, it was like YOLO, unless you're a cat, and the cat was like, meh.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, so let's do our predictions for next week. What is going to be on fleek next week, people? And I want to know your comments about on fleek. So tweet
Your
us.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh, that's a new one. I like it. Okay. Yeah.
I always forget there's no lights in here.
I know. Well, we saw previews and Bellas. We know that it's going to be the Bellas party, launch party. So I'm excited to see what happens there, if there's going to be any drama or anything.
For sure.
Yeah, that's right, because we saw Johnny, Bobby and Roxy about to talk.
Yeah. Well, and Roxy said she like is super awkward now because she knows he said something about her, and now they have to be in the same place. So.
Yeah, and she's very non-confrontational, so she's like not like Morgan, who's gonna walk up to you and say, "Hey, why'd you say that?"
Right.
You know, so I feel like she's just gonna be like this to him.
Yeah.
The whole night, like the not to talk to him.
I think most of the episode is going to be at that premiere. I think that's the episode's going to be focused around that, and then that'll be the first time Morgan and Roxy are probably in the same place again. So we'll see that some more. Yeah,
and I wonder if anything will happen with the Hoff and Bobby at that point.
Yeah, I don't know when that happens. Maybe later in the season.
Yeah.
We'll see. If Bobby ruins her magazine opening, that would be grounds of like,
yeah, get out, see ya, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Hit the road,
bye,
Bobby.
Felicia. That's one I really.
Another saying that we.
That is a saying that I truly hate.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, and it's only because this one girl that I used to work with would say it all the time, and she was I just disliked her.
At least that came from a funny video. Most of these come from like nowhere.
See, I never even
like,
saw
what?
the video. I don't even know where it's coming from.
That's funny. All right, peeps. Well, it was a good after show. Sorry if we were a little self-involved today. But comment along with us on YouTube. Tweet us, please. I am at Haley Clover on Twitter and Instagram. Christina, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Tina Cat.
Yes, join in the conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube so you can watch all of the other videos. Thank you, Jesse, also. It was
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.